You will be shocked by the traditions of this tribe. Get ready to see rituals so different from our daily lives that they will make you rethink everything you know about culture. Curious? Join us, and let's go. Number 20. The volcano surfers. Some people surf in the water, some people surf in the air, but in Nicaragua they invented something even more radical: surfing on a volcano. At the Cerro Negro volcano, a brave group of people climb to the top carrying a special board made of reinforced plywood. From up there, more than 700 meters high, they throw themselves down the volcanic slope at more than 80 kilometers per hour. The sport is called volcano boarding and has become a tourist attraction. The surfers wear special clothing so as not to get hurt by the volcanic rocks, which are super sharp. The descent only lasts a few minutes, but it is so intense that many people say it is the most adrenaline rush of their lives. The craziest thing is that each time you go up, the route is different because the wind and rain change the shape of the descent. It's like snowboarding, except instead of snow, you go down a mountain that once spewed fire. Number 19. Tomato War in Spain. Every last August, the Spanish town of Buñol turns into a red battlefield. No, it's not a revolution. It's La Tomatina, the world's largest food fight event. It all started with a fight between friends during a parade, when someone had the brilliant idea of using tomatoes as ammunition. It was so much fun that the following year, they did it again and again until it became an official tradition. Today, thousands of people from all over the world come together for a war with no losers, where the only rule is to have fun throwing tomatoes. For a few hours, the streets are covered in red as tourists and locals turn the town into a giant pool of tomato sauce. It's like carnival, except instead of confetti, the ammunition is ripe tomatoes. Number 18. The shark tooth ritual. On the Pacific island of Kiribati, there's a tradition that would give dentists nightmares. When a boy reaches adolescence, he has to dive into the ocean and hunt a shark using only his bare hands. But that's not all. After catching the shark, he has to pull out a tooth and wear it as a necklace. It's like a turbocharged test of manhood, only with a 300% chance of becoming a shark snack. The boys train from a young age, learning to read the ocean currents and recognize shark behavior patterns. They dive in groups, but each one has to catch his own shark. The whole process can take hours, with the young warriors swimming in deep waters until they find the perfect prey. Once they get the tooth, they become respected men in the tribe and can start looking for a wife. I have a question for you. First, I'd like to tell you that it's possible to keep up with the biggest curiosities of our world every day. But for that, you need to be subscribed to our channel. So, have you subscribed yet? If not, take the opportunity to subscribe now. Now that you've done that, let's go. Number 17. The bizarre ritual of the dead. In Indonesia, the Torajan tribe is revolutionizing our understanding of death with traditions that seem like something out of a horror movie. The deceased are not buried immediately after their death. Quite the opposite. Families keep the mummified bodies inside their homes for months, sometimes years. Every day, they serve meals to the dead as if they were still alive. The bodies are dressed in elegant clothes and placed in special vases, literally becoming part of the home's decor. But wait, there's more. Even after the burial, families periodically dig up their loved ones to give them a thorough bath. It's like a macabre cleaning that maintains family bonds even after death, a tradition that combines eternal love with chills down the spine. Number 16. Living chess. In Italy, there's a city that turns chess into a show worthy of Game of Thrones. It all started with a 15th century ruler who needed to choose husbands for his two daughters. Instead of making a reality show like The Bachelor, he had the suitors play a game of chess. The winner would marry the eldest daughter and the loser the youngest. The story caught on so much that today more than 700 people, including real horses, take part in a gigantic live chess game. It's like a play mixed with a board game where people are the pieces. Just imagine the king and queen walking around the board for real. Number 15. The banquet of the monkeys. Imagine throwing a huge banquet and inviting thousands of monkeys to the party. That's exactly what's been happening every year in Thailand since 1989. The city prepares a huge feast with over 100 tables and 2,000 kilos of food just for the monkeys to gorge themselves on. It's like a VIP buffet, but for our furry cousins. The craziest thing is that the monkeys have already figured it out. It started with 300 monkeys participating, and now there are over 4,000 who show up for this gastronomic feast. Everyone just watches as they devour the food at an impressive speed. It's kind of surreal, but the whole city embraced this crazy idea and continues to do it every year. Number 14. The Feast of Fire. In El Salvador, there's a celebration that makes any fireworks display look like child's play. In the city of Nejapa, every year there's Bolas de Fuego, a battle where two teams throw fireballs at each other. The balls are made of rags soaked in kerosene, and the participants throw them with their bare hands. Sounds crazy, right? But this tradition started over 100 years ago to commemorate a battle between Saint Jerome and the devil. The locals train all year long to participate, and even with all the danger involved, serious accidents are rare because they have developed special techniques for handling the fire. It's like dodgeball, but literally. Number 13. The Fatties Competition. In Ethiopia, there is a tribe that turns all the beauty standards we know upside down. There, being chubby is not a cause for concern. It's a cause for celebration. For 6 months, the men of the tribe isolate themselves from the world with one goal: to gain as much weight as possible. No gym or diet. The mission is to gorge themselves on cow's blood and milk brought by the women of the tribe. When the fattening period is over, a parade takes place where the participants proudly show off their bellies. The winner, the one who managed to gain the most weight. And don't think that this is just any competition. The winner becomes the hero of the tribe, celebrated and admired by everyone. The children dream of being like him when they grow up. It's like a beauty pageant in reverse, where the more kilos, the more applause. Number 12. The Honey Hunters of Nepal. In Nepal, there are some guys who are like bee ninjas. The Gurung honey hunters climb cliffs up to 300 meters high using bamboo ladders to collect honey from giant bees. But this isn't just any honey. This is the rarest and most valuable red honey in the world. The bees build their huge hives hanging from rocky walls, and the hunters have to use smoke to drive away the swarms before harvesting the honey. The craziest thing is that they do this twice a year, in the spring and fall, following ancient rituals that include offerings to the forest spirits before they begin collecting. A single hive can produce up to 60 kilos of honey, which is highly prized for its medicinal properties. It's like extreme sports mixed with gourmet cuisine. Number 11. The Dance of the Spirits. In Mongolia, there's a shamanic tradition that will make your jaw drop. During the Sagan Sar festival, shamans perform a ritual called the Spirit Dance, where they believe they can communicate with the supernatural world through a frenetic dance. But this isn't just any dance. They wear huge masks, costumes covered in mirrors and bells, and spin at such incredible speeds that they look like human tornadoes. The most impressive thing is that they can spin for hours without getting dizzy. During the dance, they make guttural sounds that echo through the mountains, creating an atmosphere that will give even those who don't believe in spirits the chills. The tradition is so old that no one can say exactly when it began, but it's still going strong today. Number 10. The Radish Festival. In Mexico, there's a festival that turns radishes into real works of art. For over 125 years, in the city of Oaxaca, artists have come together to carve radishes into incredible scenes. It all started with clever vendors who, during Christmas, started carving radishes to draw people's attention to their products. Today, it has become a mega event where you can find everything from historical figures to everyday scenes, all made from radishes. It's like an ice sculpture festival, but with vegetables and without melting. Number 9. The Leap of Courage. In the heart of Pentecost Island, in Vanuatu, something happens that would make even professional skydivers sweat. Every year, young warriors from the local tribe climb 30-meter-high wooden towers and jump upside down. But don't worry, they're not crazy. They tie vines to their ankles so they don't end up in pancakes on the ground. It's like primitive bungee jumping, only 1,000 times more extreme. The tradition began after a woman ran away from her abusive husband and hid high up in a tree. When he climbed up after her, she tied a vine to her ankle and jumped, escaping unharmed. Ever since then, the men of the tribe have been doing this crazy jump to prove that they wouldn't be fooled in the same way. The trick is in the length of the vine. If it's too long, the warrior turns into a pulp. If it's too short, it doesn't give you the adrenaline rush. And what's more, the closer the jumper's hair touches the ground, the more status he gains in the tribe. Number 8. The Dishes of Love. There's an expression that says love isn't all roses. And in Germany, they take it very seriously. On the eve of the wedding, everyone gathers in front of the bride and groom's house and starts breaking plates, vases, and even toilets. It's not a mess. The more broken pieces on the floor, the luckier the couple will be. It's like a destructive version of a good luck ritual. The city gets into the spirit and even sends dumpsters to help with the cleanup afterwards. The Germans are so into this tradition that they even have a saying, broken pieces bring luck. Just imagine explaining to the building manager that all that mess is actually a demonstration of affection. Number 7. The dance of sticks. In Papua New Guinea, the Dani tribe has a unique way of resolving conflicts. And no, it's not with punches. They organize a competition in which 2 warriors have to dance by jumping between bamboo sticks that are struck on the ground at a fast pace. It's like a game of skipping rope, but if you mess up, you'll not only be embarrassed, but you could break your ankle. The sticks are manipulated by other members of the tribe, who increase the speed as the music gets more intense. The dancers have to show agility, rhythm, and endurance, because the dance can last for hours. The winner not only resolves the dispute in their favor, but also gains prestige in the community. It's a peaceful way of resolving conflicts that has turned violence into an art form, even if it still carries a considerable risk of ending up in the emergency room. Number 5. The curse of cinnamon. In Denmark, being single at 25 is no easy feat. When someone goes a quarter of a century without a love interest, everyone gets together to throw cinnamon at them. And if you think that's bad, wait until you turn 30, then things get even spicier. Literally. Friends swap cinnamon for pepper. This tradition started as a joke about traveling salesmen who spent so much time on the road that they couldn't find love. They called them peppermen. Today, it's more of a joke between friends than a judgment. It's like a reverse bridal shower. Number 4. The people who live in the clouds. In Nepal, there's a tribe that lives closer to the sky than any other. The Sherpas of the Khumbu Valley. Living at over 4,000 meters above sea level, these guys have developed natural superpowers to survive where the air is so thin that most people can barely breathe. What's even more amazing is that they have a genetic mutation that allows their blood to carry more oxygen than normal. Children grow up climbing up and down mountains like they're climbing ladders on a playground. And everyone in the community knows Everest like they know their local grocery store. Their most important tradition is Dumji, a 5-day festival where they perform ritual dances wearing masks to thank the mountain gods for their protection. It's like a high-rise condominium, but with a view of the roof of the world. Number 3. The scrambled egg war. In Bosnia, there's a tradition that makes breakfast look like a Hollywood blockbuster. Every spring, the entire town gets together to make the biggest batch of scrambled eggs you've ever seen. We're not talking about just a handful of eggs. 1,500 eggs broken according to a recipe that's over 40 years old. The festival starts at dawn, with the organizer himself arriving before sunrise to start the preparations. Even with temperatures below 0, thousands of people gather on the riverbanks to take part in this crazy party. And after filling their bellies with eggs, everyone dives into the Bosna River. For them, the egg represents the beginning of a new life, so it's like a super ritual to welcome spring. Number 2. The men's beauty contest. In Chad, the roles are reversed in a way that will make your head spin. There's a festival called Jarawal, where men are the ones who get ready to win over women. There is no competition of strength or demonstration of courage. It is makeup, production, and a lot of charm. The guys spend hours getting ready, using makeup and other adornments to impress the suitors. It is like The Voice, except instead of singing, the contestants parade and pose. Some are looking for a girlfriend, others just want to get married. And the women? They are calm, evaluating each candidate as if they were judges on a reality show. Number 1. The Wife-Carrying Championship. Have you ever thought about turning a gangster story into an Olympic sport? In Finland, they did just that. It all started with a gangster who sent his henchmen to steal women from other villages. Today, it has become a crazy competition where men carry their partners in a 253.5-meter race on the sand. It's like a CrossFit event, only 1,000 times crazier. There are strict rules about the weight and age of the women to keep everything fair. The couples train all year long for this adventure. And the most incredible thing is that it has even become an international competition. It's like that story. What started as a tragedy turned into a party. Which of these tribal traditions shocked you the most? Tell me in the comments below. Now take advantage and click on this video that is appearing on the screen, because I separated it especially for you. Well, that's it, and until next time, curious one.